Phivolcs reports that Kanlaon Volcano had an explosive eruption just this afternoon. And to tell us more about this is the Chief of the Volcano Monitoring and Eruption Prediction Division of Phivolcs, Mariton, Bornas. Welcome back to The Big Story.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening po.
Could you describe in layman terms what you mean as when you say moderately explosive eruption?
Okay, so today at 4:39 p.m., we had a 2-minute explosive eruption. This is the kind of eruption where we can see the volcano producing a lot of ash, producing a relatively large eruption plume, and what we call pyroclastic density currents, or PDCs. These are very hazardous flows of material, very hot material, including volcanic gas, at a short distance from the crater. So this occurred after a period of low activity in terms of seismic or volcanic earthquake activity, and also very low or a decrease in sulfur dioxide emissions.
Will the alert level be increased from 2 to 3?
I think we've already made this decision last October because we had a similar but less energetic explosive eruption last October 2025, that we are calibrating our alert level responses by not raising the alert level for similar types of eruptions that are producing volcanic hazards within the 2-kilometer radius of the volcano. So it's as much as scary as the eruption looks scary, the volcanic hazards, particularly the PDCs, are confined within the 2-kilometer radius. No? So we had ashfall over a reported 6 cities and municipalities of Negros Occidental, maybe around 40 barangays. But for the really dangerous impacts of pyroclastic density currents, these are all confined within a kilometer of the crater.
Do you expect this to persist for a long period?
So right now, we've had several of these moderately explosive eruptions since the first one in June 3, 2024. And this is part of a long-term period of unrest of Kanlaon, which we think might culminate in a major eruption of the volcano. So for now, what we see is that after such events, there are no appreciable changes in the monitoring parameters. So right now, what we are looking at for a possible raise in the alert level would be if there is a corresponding change or escalation in the severity of the monitoring parameters. So we shall see. But again, for the past few weeks, we've had actually very low levels of seismic or volcanic earthquake and sulfur dioxide emission. And we think that it's because of the suppression of the volcanic gas within the volcano that's causing the pressurization and this kinds of repeating and very infrequent activity of Kanlaon.
So it could take years before that major eruption that we are anticipating could take place.
That's right. So in some other volcanoes around the world, similar to Kanlaon, they've had long periods of unrest that stretched to about 10 years, 5 years, and even more than that before activity actually culminated.
Is it strange, Ms. Mariton, that you observed low sulfur emissions, very low seismic activity before this minor explosive eruption actually happened?
I think at some point in the period of unrest, we will see less and less of this kinds of precursory signs because the volcano has been preparing for a long time. Since 2020, 2022, we've had very high levels of rock breaking inside the volcano, as recorded as volcano tectonic earthquakes. So we've had thousands and thousands of these. So essentially the pathways have been of the magma have been already established, and so it will make the magma, when it eventually comes up, might make less noise than what has been recorded for this period of time that we've been having these explosions. So it's common among in volcanic eruptions that we will have the lessening of these kinds of parameters. Of course, not all of these parameters. We expect, for example, the sulfur dioxide emission will
So-
increase. Yeah.
So, Ms. Mariton, having said that, would you be changing any of the alerts or advice for the LGU to give the residents in these 6 municipalities around the volcano, or kumbaga, maintain lang?
So now we are maintaining alert level 2. That includes the recommendations for strict compliance of no entry into the 4-kilometer radius permanent danger zone. But we will be on the lookout for any escalation of parameters that could lead to a step up in that level 3.
And Mariton, is there a way to enhance our early warning systems for future volcanic activities?
Okay, so we actually have a very, very modernized, we have state-of-the-art monitoring on our active volcanoes. Our only problem really is how to keep them working in our climate. And I think of the Philippines, and I've said this many times, we are faced with this unique situation in which our own early warning systems, in whatever state even if they are very well advanced, are really at the mercies of our climate. So we have frequent typhoons, we have huge humidity problems for our equipment on volcanoes that we have troubles resolving or solving. So there are so many challenges, even though our equipment are state of the art. And yeah, the climate is actually a big issue for us in volcano monitoring.
Is there a way to at least address that, Mariton? Is it through maintenance, upkeeping, or talagang natural cause na itong climate?
We actually have a constant maintenance of our station, and it takes up a lot of time and effort, really. But we also are in great partnerships with the locals, the local government, the local communities who help us with the maintenance of our monitoring infrastructure. So really, it's a multi-sectoral effort. Yeah, so that we can have these instruments running. But we have a lot of major successes. For example, in Mariton Volcano, we are able to actually predict its behavior very accurately right now. And frankly, we cannot just take credit for that. It really is the success of many, many actors, especially of the local communities.
All right, we thank you so much once again for sharing your expertise with us. That was Mariton Bornas of Phivolcs.